Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Should Cowboys urge Tyron Smith to retire, move Tyler, draft O-line? The Dallas Cowboys offensive line had a down season by their lofty standards as Dak Prescott was sacked 39 times, the most since 2018, 56. The best five continuity wasn't there all season. And when one piece, meaning Tyron Smith or Zach Martin, was absent, the offensive line looked shaky. While Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass showed plenty in the Week 18 win over the Washington Commanders, there is still a need to fortify the unit. With Tyron Smith getting another year older and despite when healthy, still playing at an all-pro level, in CBS Sports' latest mock draft, his successor is taken in the first round with Duke's Graham Barton selected at number 24. Tyron Smith is scheduled to hit free agency, CBS Sports writes. If he departs, that could trigger a reshuffling of Dallas' own. Tyler Smith has played guard but also played left tackle when the former Smith was injured. If he flips back out to left tackle, then the Cowboys will need some help on the interior. Now, this move is predicated on Smith not returning, and while there is some validity in the future Hall of Famer Tyron walking off into the sunset, he could also return on a similar contract as he did this season. The Tyron departs is the big story here. At 33, do the Cowboys keep handing him the keys to the position, hoping he stays healthy? Do they do that especially if Smith will come back on the cheap, as he did in 2023? Or should both parties rip off the band-aid here and move on? Maybe in either event, O-line help makes sense. So let's look at Barton. The 6'5", 314-pound left tackle, per scouts, has the power to get off the line of scrimmage in the run game and often gets to the second level. In pass protection, it is said Barton's footwork allows him to anchor down to allow his quarterback time in the pocket and being on Dak's blind side, that could prove beneficial. Barton is a better run blocker than a pass protector, but Mike Solari, Dallas offensive line coach, could improve Barton in that area during training camp. Given the Cowboys' defense's weakness at linebacker, one could have been forgiven for Dallas taking one in the first round. And as always, we believe in taking the best available athlete, BAA. But it seems that solidifying the offensive line might be job number one in the draft, and in Barton, the Cowboys do just that. Regardless of the looming Tyron decision. Cowboys contracts and free agency, ranking the priorities. The Dallas Cowboys have major contractual decisions to make on the likes of quarterback Dak Prescott, receiver CeeDee Lamb and linebacker Micah Parsons, with Jerry Jones and company slated to enter the offseason underwater in terms of salary cap space. That won't last, obviously. And as CowboysSI.com has pointed out, cap hell is a myth, but the cap isn't. So part of this game, when it comes to the 14 guys slated for free agency, is who to keep? According to Over the Cap, the Cowboys currently have $-19,740,700 in salary cap space. They are one of 11 teams in the red right now, so it's not especially uncommon to start out the offseason not in a great spot cap-wise. But that amount, and more, if the Cowboys hope to make other investments this offseason, will have to be made up for somehow. With mid-March, the time to be cap-compliant, by NFL rules. By far the largest chunk of salary cap space for the Cowboys in 2024 belongs to Prescott, who is currently slated to have a $59.455 cap number in the final year of his current contract. That's a major reason why, despite any questions about postseason shortcomings in the Prescott era, the best move forward for the Cowboys this offseason is to work out a new long-term deal with their quarterback. That could drastically lower his cap number for 2024. CowboysSI.com has talked of chopping it down by $20 million, and alone may put the Cowboys in compliance, at least before other moves are made. Lamb, a former first-round pick, is scheduled to play on his fifth-year option in 2024, which would count as $17.991 million against the cap. One would think, though, that after an all-pro season that saw Lamb catch 135 passes for 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns, Dallas would also like to lock him up to a long-term deal. And that can slice Lamb's impact all the way down to $8 million. Additionally, do-it-all defender Micah Parsons is eligible to negotiate a new deal now that he's played 3 seasons in the league. The Cowboys will certainly exercise his 5th-year option this offseason, meaning they have him under contract for 2 more years, with the possibility of 2 franchise tags after that. Again, though, Parsons, likely eyeing an all-time high $30 million APY-like deal, would be well within his rights this offseason to say that he's outperformed his rookie contract and ask for a new deal more in line with his current production. And the Cowboys don't want to get in a position where he threatens to withhold his services. And then, as noted above, Dallas also isn't short on impending free agents, with left tackle Tyron Smith, center Tyler Biadasz, running back Tony Pollard, safety Jaron Kearse and cornerbacks Stephon Gilmore and Jordan Lewis all set to become free agents. Cowboys already have replacement in mind if DC Dan Quinn leaves. Dallas defensive coordinator Dan Quinn could become a head coach again, but the Cowboys already have a potential replacement in mind. NFL Media's Ian Rappaport reported the Cowboys could target former Carolina Panthers and Washington Commanders HC Ron Rivera if the 53-year-old DC leaves. Quinn, meanwhile, has a second interview with the Commanders on Tuesday, per Nikki Jabvala of the Washington Post. He reportedly met with the Seattle Seahawks for a second time last week. He helped Seattle win its first Super Bowl while he served as DC from 2013 to 14, developing stars such as cornerback Richard Sherman. Since he has deep ties to the organization, it wouldn't be a surprise if it makes him its next HC. If Quinn takes either one of these jobs, Rivera would be a decent replacement. He served as defensive coordinator for the Bears and Chargers for 6 seasons. In 4 seasons with Washington, the Commanders ranked top 5 in the league in yards and points allowed twice. In his final season with Washington, the Commanders finished last in the league in points, 30.5, and yards, 388.9, allowed. However, before the deadline, they traded their top pass rushers, Montez Sweat, Bears, and Chase Young, 49ers, explaining the regression. Rivera, 62, should produce with a star-studded unit, including 2023 Defensive Player of the Year finalists linebacker Micah Parsons and cornerback Darren Bland. Still, it would be ideal for Dallas if Quinn stays. In 3 seasons under the 2021 Assistant Coach of the Year, the Cowboys have finished first in takeaways twice and top 5 in points allowed 3 times. According to Bleacher Report's Jordan Schultz, the Cowboys will retain Quinn if he doesn't land an HC job. At this point, though, count on the former Atlanta Falcons HC getting another opportunity. And you fan, what do you think of the Ron Rivera situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.